You don't have to have the strongest arm to be an elite quarterback, but it sure does help. The guys on this list can do more than just make every throw. They do it in a way that only few can. These are the 5 strongest arms in the NFL today. Matthew Stafford. The moment the Lions drafted Matthew Stafford number 1 overall way back in 2009, Stafford was added to the list. Matter of fact, Stafford's arm has been his top asset dating back to his days of leading Highlands Parks to a 4A state championship in Texas. It's hard to argue that the term arm talent wasn't created for Matthew Stafford back in the day. You never really heard the term until the 2009 draft, and now it's all we hear about when scouting quarterbacks. Stafford slings the ball to every edge of the field with ease, with the same explosion off his hand and the same whistle as the pigskin cuts through the air. No, seriously, Lions and Georgia players and coaches say the ball actually whistled through the air coming off of Stafford's hands. Quarterbacks envy Stafford's effortless ability to rocket a ball to the opposite side of the field on a rope, finding itself in the receiver's hands. Over the past decade, Stafford has become a master of the 15-yard out route. Think about it. To the far side of the field, a 15-yard out route is nearly 90 feet away. That's 1.5 times the distance of a pitcher's mound to home plate. Pitchers get as long as they want to pinpoint a pitch. QBs have to do it with 4 300-pound guys trying to crush them while perfectly timing the route with the receiver. And Stafford can do it in his sleep. You could fill his highlight reel with just that throw because, well, there's only a handful of guys in the world that would even try it, let alone make it. Matthew Stafford's career has been buried underneath endless losing seasons, but he's been one of the NFL's elite passers every year, largely because of his legendary arm. It's evident when Stafford throws deep, scoring 13 touchdowns of 20-plus yards in the air last year. But his rocket arm does come with some pitfalls and friendly fire, though. Namely, his receiver's fingers, dislocated and displaced from humming pigskin bullets. That's probably also the reason the Lions are always near the top of the dropped passes list. Or maybe that's just the Lions. Aaron Rodgers. After this, the rest of the list are newcomers, so it's only fitting that Aaron Rodgers is the gatekeeper for this exclusive list of gunslingers. First, let's start with the pure distance that Rodgers can throw. On his famous Hail Mary against the Lions, Detroit lined up prepared to defend a backyard lateral fest from the Packers on the last play of regulation. They didn't think that it was possible to throw a Hail Mary from the Pack's own 39-yard line. And honestly, it's not possible for mere humans. But this is Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers rolled out right to buy time before heaving the ball from his own 35. It traveled nearly 70 yards in the air before finding itself in the hands of Richard Rodgers. Head coach McCarthy said it was the greatest throw he'd ever seen. It was an in-game pass that went further than the best long-distance throw competition throws we used to get during Pro Bowl week. To say Aaron Rodgers can make all the throws is disrespectful to Aaron's game. Rodgers makes all the throws your favorite QB wishes he could make. He might be the greatest of all time rolling opposite of his throwing arm. Rodgers regularly scrambles to his left before flipping his hips like a shortstop to rifle a throw that the TV camera can't even keep up with. You didn't forget that throw against the boys in the playoffs, right? Rodgers' ability to zipline a pass in between 2 defenders perfectly to his target is uncanny. What people don't know is that his arm talent came from years of incredibly hard and dedicated work. Rodgers changed his entire throwing motion when he hit the league, using more of the torque throw than the robotic traditional QB mechanics he was taught. The results were insane Super Bowl moments, clutch plays, jaw-dropping passes, and arguably the most talented passer in the history of the NFL. Well, so far. Baker Mayfield. Like his entire career, Baker Mayfield's arm strength has been completely overlooked and underrated. That's probably why he shows so much fire on the field and plays with a chip on his shoulder the size of a boulder. Did you know that Baker Mayfield is the record holder for longest pass ever attempted in an NFL game? With no time left in the first half, Mayfield tossed up a prayer at the end zone to even the score against the Ravens. It didn't connect to any Browns receivers, but it did connect Baker to the history books. The pass carried over 70 yards and outshot any possible receivers, overthrowing the back line of the end zone. Ravens safety Chuck Clark was the closest to the pass, and he didn't realize Baker had the arm to overthrow the end zone. Clark smacked right into the goalpost tracking the ball. The pass put the league on notice. Don't be like the Lions. If it's the end of the game and Mayfield has the ball, you need to be guarding the Hail Mary from the opposite 35 in. Any questions teams had of Mayfield's arm during the draft have been quickly put to bed. In fact, his arm has gotten better every year he's been in the league, and he's quickly found himself as one of the NFL's premier throwers. When tested at the Combine, Mayfield's ball velocity was 60 miles per hour, which is the second fastest ever since recording started in 2008. Haters might be able to knock Mayfield for other things, but arm strength certainly is not one. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes does everything you're not supposed to do, yet he's the best quarterback in all of football. He's a rule breaker and an enigma. A lot of it is Patty Mahomes' arm strength isn't just special, it's inimitable. Originally, Mahomes was compared to Aaron Rodgers, but as great as Rodgers is, he's not making this throw falling to the ground. It zipped past multiple Buccaneers defenders and hit his receiver between the eyes 30 yards away. He was parallel to the ground. No one else in the world can do that. The chances someone comes along that can replicate that are not realistic. But don't worry, just because the best throw of Mahomes' young career fell incomplete doesn't mean he doesn't have hours of highlights from other insane throws. And none were bigger than his bomb to Tyreek Hill that soared through the sky and sparked the Kansas City Super Bowl comeback. Mahomes doesn't need a platform to throw the ball on a rope accurately wherever he wants to put it, even off the ground. 50 yards down the field? No problem. On the run, he excels. In tight windows, he threads the needle. Out of the stadium, Coach Belichick, in all his genius, predicted that Mahomes could. Mahomes did just that this past offseason, launching the ball from Arrowhead Field over the stadium scoreboard before hitting the concourse. Mahomes believes he can throw a football 100 yards, goal line to goal line. Who are we to doubt him? He can easily toss it 80 and has completed a pass that carried 60 in-air yards in a game. But while Mahomes has the most arm talent we've ever seen, does he have the strongest arm in the game? Josh Allen. Since his early days as an unheralded QB from Fireball, California, Josh Allen has always had a bazooka attached to his shoulder. Allen's arm strength rivals that of the greatest gunslingers ever, the Elways and the Favres of history. At his pro day, he showed off with 80-yard bombs. At the Combine, he clocked the highest ball velocity ever recorded, 62 miles per hour. In a game, it looks like he throws harder than that. The ball leaves his hand like it's running for its life. Some of the others on this list make it look effortless flicking the ball. Allen makes it look like he's got something against the ball. He sends it with anger and pure horsepower that could pierce metal. In celebration, he even gave the Dolphins nosebleed seats souvenirs when he slung a ball out of New Era Field. Allen threw the ball where those t-shirt cannons could never even dream of. Until this last season, Allen didn't seem to have good aim on the howitzer, however, completing just 30% of deep passes in his career. But this past season, he was electric, putting together an MVP-worthy season. Along the way, Allen made passes every Sunday that had us all doing a double take in disbelief. He made impossible throws look mundane. But does he have the strongest arm in the NFL, or does Mahomes? Let's look at the comparisons. Allen has the longer recorded throw, ball velocity, and for what it's worth, the higher Madden throw power rating. But there's really only one way to settle the debate: a good old long-distance throw-off. Both have said they're game for it, so let's get this settled once and for all. In the meantime, we'll just go with what the stats say and let Josh Allen hold the belt.